What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah, and you're watching this video on Sunday, November 16th, 2025 at 10:50 a.m. MST. And today, Kamiko is my extra, Amanda is my extra, and Robert is my extra, and I am the ordinary. Friends, you've all been so encouraging to me in such different ways, that you've all been such beautiful people in my life and have served to encourage me so much. Kamiko, you've always been such a beautiful, gentle woman with such piercing insights into life that have encouraged me and challenged me forward in my life in God. Amanda, I've known you since you were a little baby. I appreciate your artistic and your tender heart, your gifts of love that are so meaningful. And Robert, our conversation together was such a powerful example of what it looks like to see the message in the mess, to untangle, unwind the beauty of the tapestry of your life in the midst of very difficult and convoluted things. Friends, that last might not make a whole lot of sense to you, but hopefully by the end of this video, it will. Now, the beautiful element of my sister is that she is incredibly crafty. Oh, got reflection coming off of my key light over here. My sister loves to do cross-stitch work and gifts us these beautiful pictures that she spends hours upon hours on making. And this sits in the entryway of my house. I love to look at it. It reminds me of her all the time, that as people come into my house, that there's a declaration of welcome, peace to all who enter here. It's been such a beautiful addition of my family and my home. Now, the awesome part then about Kamiko's addition to how I now always see crosswork stitching is that she posted this meme that said that while we always look at the front of crosswork stitching and it's so beautiful, it's so intricate, that on the back of all crosswork stitching, there is a mess of tangled knots and strings and threads that have very little representation to what it looks like from the front. I got my second camera here to be able to show you on the back. It's so crazy that as you look at crosswork stitching from the front, it looks so beautiful, but that from the back, that the threads are just all gnarled together, that there's a general shape of the full artwork piece, but that along this portion here, look at all of those threads, that they're just all snarled together and you can't really tell anything about what it is. Overall, there's a general sense of like, I see colors and something that's there, but it doesn't look anything like the other side. I want to put this back together. Amanda, I'm sorry if this is stressing you out. You do such beautiful work. We'll try to get it back together the same way that you had it. Flip this over. Now look on this side. There you go. Now on this side, look at the intricate work of each little stitch, that it's within its own little block, color coordinated with everything else. There's depth and shadowing. You can see right away exactly what it says. Welcome, peace to all who enter here. It's just so beautiful. Now, how I think this all comes together then with my conversation with Robert, and I'm using a different name to help protect their identity and their confidence that they placed in me and the things that they shared, was that as I got to interact with Robert, they told me the story of their life, and that there's so many areas of trauma in their life as their parent grew up and trauma that they experienced in their past as a little child. But then growing up, Robert and their parent, as they grew up together, that there was dysfunction and abuse of substances that were involved in the family, and that over time that Robert separated from their parent in order to make a name for themselves and to separate themselves from their parents' dysfunction. They confronted them, but their parent didn't want to listen to their admonition and eventually wound up ending their life. It's so difficult to hear the story and how it unfolded, but that then, as Robert told me about how then they were raising their child and their goals and their visions and pouring into their child's life, that they told me their purpose, their vision, and why of how they wanted to parent their life in order to make decisions in their business, things that they did and didn't do in order to pour into their child's life for the future. Now, as Robert told me their story and I listened, it became very apparent to me that how they were going about loving their child was an intentional choice, an intentional path forward in order to love their child in a way that demonstrated stability, love, intentionality, involvement in their child's life, and to promote their child forward into success for their future. We talked a lot about legacy and inheritance and building wealth in such a way that you can put it behind your children and see your children propelled into the future. As we talked about success in our own lives and what that looked like, that success is a matter of breathing in one breath and breathing out next, that your success is always your next breath, and that our greatest impediment to forward success is often success that we've had in the past. And as we talked about those things, I saw this beautiful unfolding, this beautiful picture, this very clear image and words and declarations of this person's life involved in hurt from their past, but that was being redeemed and was growing and building in this thread of this tapestry of love and beauty that was being built into this person's child for the future. But that as I talked with Robert, that I saw that their vision and their definition of success was ending in their lifetime. And so I asked a very specific question that as they told me about their success and about what they wanted to do in their life, that they were looking at this. There was all the undifferentiated tangled knots and snarled colors, and the general shape was there, but that I was looking at this. This is what I was seeing in their life, and it was absolutely driving me insane that I could hear in the things that they were saying that they didn't have this clarity. They were moving forward with this snarled, tangled mess. And so I asked a question, and I said, that's what success looks like in this life for you. That's your purpose. That's your why. But beyond this life, what is it that you're hoping out of that vision and success in this life to impart to your child moving forward into their future after your own death? And then just sat and watched for a little bit. And they stared at me, not because they thought the question was ridiculous, but as they told me later that they had never considered that question before in their entire life. I asked then, would you say then, Robert, that your vision, your why in this intentional love expressed to your child is such that they will carry that value into the future to impart that to their children and love their children in that manner that you have loved them to a greater extent, to propel that into the future, the second, the third, fifth generation beyond your life after you die? They immediately said, yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. And that then later said that in that conversation, that it was the first time that they had ever thought of that. See, friends, the thing that just fires me up so much about that is that in Kamiko posting her meme about what we often see in the beauty of people's lives, that inside that there's this tangled up mess, that the beauty is there, but that it's on the inside, and that often it's so tangled and convoluted that it's hard to see that on the inside and to think of oneself as being beautiful and whole and powerful and having clear vision for the future, because this is what you're dealing with. But the beauty is that Jesus graces us with his perspective to be able to see all of the tangled ways of our lives and to see this beautiful expression of welcome. Welcome into your destiny. Welcome into your beauty. Welcome into the peace of your life. And that he then asks us questions that activates us to discover the beauty that he already sees. That we're looking at this, the tangled, snarled mess, but that he is seeing the beautiful expression of ordered reality displayed in something that's framed, it's protected, it can be hung on a wall, that invites homes, expression, and welcoming and peace to other people. Friends, my encouragement to you is that as Jesus imparts grace to you, that he empowers you to have the capacity to be able to see the snarled messes of people's lives, the tangled threads of their destiny that are being woven into the tapestry of life and the history of God's glory, and that he gives us the eyes and the grace to be able to see the beauty in the midst of the tangled threads. My declaration to you is that if in your life that you feel exposed, that you don't feel like you have protection, that your life is just a tangled mess and you don't know what to do, that you don't know how to move forward, there's some clarity but that it's fuzzy at best, that my declaration to you, my grace imparted to you, is that Jesus has a beautiful manifestation of his manifold, multicolored wisdom for your life, that you are God's workmanship, created to do good works that God prepared for you in advance of your person, and that your identity is tied to good works, which gives you a destiny, and that in God that he has all of your days of your life, all of the days of your life ordered for you before one of them came to be. I so appreciate God's Spirit and his grace in me that empowers me to be able to see the tangled messes of ordinary life as something extra, as something beautiful, as something captivating, and that I can let my light shine for you in Extraordinary Life with Elijah. If you subscribe to what I am doing, hit the button. Amanda, don't hit me. I think I broke one of the tabs on your picture. Don't hit me. Just hit the subscribe button. If you subscribe to what I am doing, then hit the button. Hit it and then get it. Hit the bell as well so that you get notified with the new content, with the new content. And if you loved this video, you didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. Pray blessings on our lives together. I love you guys lots, and I will see you in the next video, which starts now. I don't think I broke this too bad. I think it's just a little tab that goes in there. Yeah, not too bad. Oh my goodness. Guys, I love being able to meet with people and to be a vessel of God's grace to others. That God apportions grace to us according to how he sees fit, but that we are to steward grace towards others in order to empower them to know God more, to be equipped and built up into the full maturity of their destiny in God. Man, I don't think I have any greater pleasure than getting to meet with people, to see the barriers that they put up, that they often stonewall, being able to see their messes, but that God's given me eyes to see X-ray vision supernaturally through the barriers, the borders, to see into the snarled destiny of their lives and to help introduce people to the beautiful picture of God's invitation. Welcome, peace to all who enter here. I don't think I'd do anything that gives me more pleasure than that. Oh boy. Third installment. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do my best. I think I'm gonna leave this here. This interim portion's getting really long, I know. Stalling because I'm trying to think about how I can make this last entry on your sons and daughters prophesy. Young men will have visions, old men will dream dreams. I'm trying to think about how to best make it a succinct video. Yeah, I'm stalling. Well, don't worry about what to say at that time. You'll be given what to say. What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah. And today is part 3 of Your Sons and Daughters Will Prophesy, Your Young Men Will See Visions, Your Old Men Will Dream Dreams.